What's up, everyone out there in YouTube land? This is Perry Lovewhistle, and I am back on Zaner on Project 1999, and it is time to continue our work on the Ranger Epic Quest. Alright, before we start today's questing, there was two things that I completely forgot to mention when I was shooting the video. I got distracted by the fact that I shot this video while streaming. So before we get started with the quest, first of all, I have to plug a couple of other YouTube channels. First is EverQuest Footpad. He covers poison making on TLP servers, which is it's something that on Project 1999 almost nobody does. I think I've seen more people use the poison making skill to make dyes for the dyed armors, which are now in Project 1999 green, than to actually use it to make poison. It's just it's one of those things where the min-maxers don't like doing it because the amount of effort it requires to make it useful could be better spent other places. But sort of the same reason why I do a ranger, it's an aspect of the game that they put in from the start and kind of got ignored until later expansions. There's definitely some points after Project 1999 is going to take it that that poison making becomes very viable in EverQuest. But I'm pretty sure that it is there in Project 1999. If I'm wrong, light me up. But either way, his video content is really informative about how to level up that trade skill and make use of it. Also, Crazy Painter 1000. Most of his content is painting 1/24th scale slot cars, which is really cool content. But he also plays Project 1999. He's actually Zalkar, a 53 enchanter in the Castle Guild with me, and he is starting to do some more content working on his epic. So we might have a crossover episode where he's helping me with my epic, I'm helping him with his epic. So you should check out his stuff. He also does a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, looking at things like he had one video recently about his notebook where he kept track of his friends and people he didn't want to help in EverQuest way back in the day, which, you know, back before we had Discord and a lot of really great online resources, I'm sure everyone had a notebook like that. So check his content out. The other thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that I just hit 600 subscribers. And actually the person who hit subscribe for the 600 subscriber messaged me in-game. That was Machiavelli in Project 1999. So thanks everybody for subscribing, getting this channel to where it is. Now, on with the show. I got a lucky break and I got a cheap Jade Reaver out of the guild bank, and now I'm going to start working my way through the next step, which involves making the rune-crested bowl. The first thing I need to do for that is go to Timoris Deep and talk to an NPC there, which is going to be a while. I've got to wait on a boat and then levitate, fly across the water, all that good stuff. But if I get there and I can't even start the quest, then I've got to come all the way here, do a faction quest, and then turn all the way back around. So I am starting today in Felwith by Neola Impholder. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to have any issues with faction here by doing the Batwing turn-in quest, and then we're going to move on with the quest itself. So really quick, Batwing turn-in montage. And there we go. 7 stacks of bat wings to Neola Impholder. Hopefully that's good enough to get my Keepers of the Art faction high enough to do the next part of this quest. So now we go and wait for a boat. Okay, now I am in Tamora Steep. I'm actually in the northeast island because it's the quickest one to jump off the boat at. But I need to get to almost the southwest island. But luckily, I can cast all of the buffs that I need from Clickies. Get my Levitate, and of course, my Invis as well. And I aim south. And here is the island. I am scared about the Ixar Master, so I got to keep an eye out for him. Some ruins. There's the chessboard, and there's Ulrich Farsight walking around. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that this Ixar Master is far away before I break Invis and talk. Okay, yeah, he's up there somewhere. I'm going to keep him on track, though. Kindly, good. Okay, so he's come and search for ancient artifacts with Fizzlebick and myself. As a matter of fact, I have. And I was given a prompt, would have been given a prompt by Ella Foodcrafter. I seek an ancient type of bowl made by the elves of old. Hey, get back here. Okay, so you're supposed to say what ancient artifacts? All types of things. This is a great area. So many artifact remains all over. It's starting to fall into the pattern of things. Hey, get back here. Well, I can't figure out how to get him to say the next thing, which is too bad. So I'm just going to say I will take the artifact. Alright. And he gives me a crushed pot. It's really too bad because he makes a reference to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But I'll talk about that later when I'm out of this zone, because this place kind of scares me. He says, take this to Ferios Elianos in Felwith. And from here, the quickest way to get to Felwith is actually to run straight south over the ocean to the fire pots. I got to get past Raptor Island first, though. And I've never done the fire pots before. Lorik says that the Ixar Master is up on the mountain and never roams. So that is good to know. Ooh, there they are. And by the way, this is the first time that I have been to the fire pots. Okay, Fadedar is not up. Okay. I'm pretty sure that one's Felwith, right? Let me see here. So that's north. That one's Felwith. Okay. First fire pots. Live on stream. Oh, it's not even Felwith. It's Kelethin. That's alright. It's a short run over to Felwith. Okay. It took a while to find Ferios, so in case anyone doesn't want to have to do what I did, he is in this this little merchant shop in the front of Southern Felwith. Go in here, down to the first door, and you can see he is here staring at the books. So, Ulrich told me to take the crushed pot to Ferios Eliano, and he should give me a receipt, right? He gives me a grocery list and says, what? A cracked earthen pot? Why in the nine hells would I need a crushed pot? Perhaps I could use it to not hold water. Anyhow, he says to take this to Nora in the tavern, take the shopping list to Nora in the tavern and get groceries. So they're using me as an errand boy now, which has nothing to do with my swords or stopping Inaruk. But here we go. And back in Northern Felwith at the Shop of All Hollows, you find Merchant Nora. Give her the grocery list, and she says, you hardly look like the type of errant runner Ferios usually sends. I hope he chokes on them. Oh, and tell him he still owes me 5 gold for his last order. So I am running errands because the merchant already hates this guy. And I give the bag of provisions back to Ferios Elianos, and he gives me the receipt. A few copper and a receipt for services rendered. Now be off. So now I have to go back to Timoris Deep. And after a long wait and an even longer run, we are back on this island. And by the way, apparently there he is. Ixar Master is up there on the mountain, where he will stay and not come down and kill me. Come back to Mr. Ulrich Farsight here and turn in my receipt and get the ancient pattern. Ooh, look, it's got text. XWIA. Platinum speckled powder, enchanted clay, this pattern. These are the 3 things that I need to combine. That's pretty cool. So the next thing I'm going to work on is the platinum speckled powder. But first, I need to go get a port. Alright, so for the next part, I need to get platinum specked powder, which starts with foraging the Rose of Firiona in Firiona Vi. If you recall, a long time ago, I foraged that, already went to Surefall Glade, and turned it in for the wooden painting. The next step is to take this wooden painting, and you turn it in Surefall Glade to someone who is going to use the rose as a gift to impress a girl. He gives you a wooden painting, and for some reason you're supposed to figure out that this wooden painting needs to be given to a crumbling human skeleton in the Frontier Mountains, behind the giant fort, against the wall on the mountainside. And I've never been in Frontier Mountains before. It kind of scares me. But I can track, and I'm invis, so we'll see how this goes. A human skeleton. Bam, got it on track. Oh, there he is. I ran right past him. So let's see here. Drop invis. Indifferent. I'm going to drop levitate too, just so that I can actually talk to him. Okay, and here is this human skeleton who doesn't respond to anything. But supposedly I need to give him this wooden painting. And I get a silver chained locket. Cool. Now I have to make the very long run from the Frontier Mountains to Surefall Glade. Oh, and it says the human skeleton begins to crack and disintegrate. Its body collapses into a pile of dust and scatters into the winds. On the ground, you notice a locket on a fine, thin chain, which you pick up. Cool. Well, after a run, a port, and another run, I am at Nira Farbreeze, who doesn't respond to hails, and I know that I'm supposed to give her the silver chained locket. And she gives me the platinum speckled powder. Platinum speckled powder. The last thing I need is enchanted clay. Now where can I go to get clay? Hey, the dwarves are pretty good with clay. I bet you I can find someone in here. Well, supposedly there's someone in Everhot Forge who knows a thing or two about enchanted clay. Oh, here he is, all the way in the back. How about this? What do you know about mud? Oh, lots of mud around here. Blah, blah, blah. I can do it for you, he says. I would like you to do it for me, I said. He says, I ain't doing it till you bring me something. A fee, I guess you call it, for lowering myself to elf woman work. Oh, so he's a sexist and a racist. Very hip. A colored axe, he says. To go with the color left on the blade after I be cracking open a gobbo head. So he needs a green axe. I've got one of those. This Jade Reaver. Jade Reaver to Kinlow's strong arm. And he gives me enchanted clay. And they stack apparently. So if anybody wants to just like destroy a whole bunch of Jade Reavers, they can bring them here and make a whole bunch of enchanted clay with it. So now I have my enchanted clay, my platinum speckled powder, and my ancient pattern. So I've just got to go find a pottery wheel. And there's one right over here. I should be able to just combine these, and it should be a no-fail combine. And it is. And there I've got my rune-crested bowl. Well, that's about it. About 3 hours of running around, getting ports, and making a rune-crested bowl. That is now 2 of 5 parts done for my epic. Next part, I just need to go into the hole and kill Jael the Insane. I definitely need to go do some leveling before I do that. Level 48 is not going to cut it. So I'm going to head out and grind out some XP somewhere. Until next time. Bye.